questions they have asked about the BOD as well as some questions they asked about the DO final. Okay, then what about the answers for the first question? BOD 5 of the raw untreated sewage.
217.
217. Okay, here that's like the answer is 210. We will see what is the issue with the answer.
Ma'am,
Okay.
I actually took dilution factor as 31, ma'am, because 1:30 is given. So one part of solute and 30 parts of solvent. So I took it as 31 by 1.
No. It is 1:30 means like the total volume is like 30.
Oh, okay.
Like one. It's like 1 in 30. Sharon. The total volume is 30. Okay, then for the BOD of BOD 5,20 of raw sewage.
Ma'am, it is 9.2 minus 2.2 into 30, ma'am.
Yes, 9.2 minus 2.2 into 30. What is the answer?
210.
210 milligram per liter. Then for the treated?
9 minus 2 into 20.
Yeah, treated sewage. Nine minus 2 into 20. It is 140. Then for the second question, what will be the final DO at the end of the test for the raw sewage?
210
you
minus
can consider
210 into 100.
Yeah, you have to consider BOD 5,20 of raw sewage, that is 210. Then 210 equal to, what is the value? 9.2 minus X. Maybe you can consider this as X into the dilution factor as 15. Okay, what is the answer for X? That is the DO final. We can say DO final. Sorry. DO final.
It's coming as negative.
What is the answer?
Negative, ma'am.
Negative?
Negative.
Then you have to negative.
Zero.
You have to indicate it as 0.
0.
Okay. Then for the third question, you have to find out the dilution factor for the treated BOD 5,20 of treated sewage. That is 140.
Equal.
140 equal to
9 minus 8.
9 minus 2 into dilution factor. What about the dilution factor?
Dilution factor is 20, ma'am.
20. Okay. But the question is?
The volume of treated sewage. DO final is given.
It is 2, no?
It is greater than
What
2.
is?
Greater than 2.
No, but we have to find out the dilution factor, no? It is the volume of.
Like with that, we can find the dilution factor, no? And then from the factor, like we have.
Yeah, it is. Now you just find out the, yeah, you can consider us with 300 ml.
Now, so 300
as
by
a
20.
total capacity. 300 by 20, you will get the volume of the sample. Volume of wastewater is equal to 15 ml. Is it clear, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I think I have completed like the different type of calculations in BOD experiment. Okay, then I will move to the next chapter, house drainage systems. Okay, before moving to this, I have some questions. Like, can you just tell me what are the things or what are the components of house drainage systems? Maybe every day we are using it for different purposes. Okay, in the residential houses. Can you just list out some of the parts of house drainage systems?
Septic tank, pipes,
Septic
Main
tank.
pipe connecting public sewer system.
Hmm?
Like a main pipe connecting the entire street to.
Okay, drain pipes. Now I'm talking about more on with the residences, house drainage. Okay.
Ma'am, toilets, flushings and all.
Yeah, flushing tank. Okay. Then wash basin. You just list out what are the things you know. You just list out what some components of house drainage systems.
Wastewater through kitchen after washing the.
Okay, that is no. I'm asking about the devices
And through sink.
to carry the wastewater or the rainwater to the main sewer. Then some other things like flushing tank. Okay, then maybe you have studied about that some drain pipes. Then maybe you all know that about the like waste pipe, soil pipe. Okay, if you are saying the backside of your house, you can able to view all those things. Okay, all the devices, whatever things you are using it, especially related to the wastewater and water, is mainly helping us just allowing the like the wastewater to the main sewer. Okay, that is located in the street. Okay, then in the house drainage systems, okay, we will see the importance of house drainage and then what are the different components, then different mode of like carrying the wastewater to the main sewer and all we will study in this. Okay, I will go with this. In order to maintain in healthy environment, okay, for example, if you don't have any devices to carry the liquid wastewater or the rainwater, then definitely it will spoil the environment. Okay, therefore, in order to maintain the healthy environment, the wastewater coming from the kitchen, bathroom, water closets, urinals of the building has to be drained or has to be taken care of properly. If the waste is not drained, then it leads to stagnation in and around the building, causing nuisance and then effect on the health. Okay, therefore, in order to mainly to take care of the health as well as the environment, it is very important to collect and remove the wastewater as it is generated. Okay, therefore, it is we have to provide some arrangements in the building for effective drainage of the wastewater. Coming to the aim of the building drainage is to drain away the liquid waste produced as quickly as possible. That is very important. Otherwise, if you are storing it for some time, then it undergoes decomposition. It produces a lot of foul gases like methane and carbon dioxide, sometimes hydrogen sulfide. Therefore, it is very, very important to drain the liquid waste as quick as possible, okay, to avoid the negative impacts. And then to provide facilities for the quick removal of foul matter such as human excreta from the water closets, and then to collect the sewage systematically for its further conveyance, treatment and disposal, and then to provide healthy and aesthetic environment in the building. Okay, these are the aims of effective drainage systems. Here, I have shown some of the arrangements, okay, that is provided in the house, especially in the outside of your house. Okay, one is called foundation drains, then roof drain pipes, gutters, storm drain pipes, catch basins, yard inlets, trench drains, French drains, okay, dry wells and cleanouts. Okay, the foundation drains are it is provided at the just basement of your building. Okay, especially these drains, okay, these are provided just around your house. Okay, mainly to carry the rainwater from the roof. Okay, therefore this is called foundation drains. And then roof drain pipes. Okay, the pipes, that is the vertical pipes coming from the roof. Okay, carries the rainwater from the roof structure is called roof drain pipes. Then next one is gutters. Can you tell me what is gutters, students?
Gutters, ma'am, where all the excreta material is drained out.
No, it is provided at the roof, like at the end of the roof. For example, this is the sloped roof, no? Okay, here they will provide some channel arrangement. Okay, it's like the structure is like this. It will go like this. Okay, then to collect the rainwater from the roof. Okay, this is called gutters. Okay, then the drain pipes or the roof drain pipes are attached to the gutters. At the one end of the gutter, actually the roof drain pipes are connected to collect the rainwater. Is it clear what is gutter? Gutter is, it's like a half drain. Okay, it is like, for example, you have like a pipe. This is this is the cross section of the pipe. If you are providing only the half structure at the bottom portion of the roof, okay, to collect the rainwater, that is called as gutters. And then storm drain pipes. Storm drain pipes is, it is like maybe after actually collecting the all rainwater, okay, from the residences, from the garden and from the roof, okay, maybe from the other locations, then it may be connected to the somewhat the diameter may be slightly bigger than the foundation drain and roof drain pipes. That is called as storm drain pipes. And then next one is the catch basins. The catch basins are located maybe just or maybe the outside of your like a building. Okay, this is mainly, it is just located along the maybe the main sewer or the lateral sewer. Okay, then it is like to receive all the rainwater from the residential building, not only the rainwater, also from the wastewater from the residential building. Okay, that is called catch basins. Then yard inlets. Okay, especially if you have provisions. Okay, then if you are providing some provisions in the garden, okay, to collect the rainwater from the, that is called as yard inlets. Okay, this is called as yard inlets. This is a yard inlet. Okay, some like arrangements, like grating arrangements to allow the rainwater to enter into that small chamber that is provided in the middle of the garden. Okay, the next one is called trench drains. Okay, trench drains, it's not like a piped material, it is like a open trenches. Okay, with some perforations at the top. Okay, to allow the water to drain. Then French drains. Okay, this is the French drains. This is also similar to that of the trench drains. Here also you have like the arrangements. Okay, that is with the pit or the trench filled with soil material, also with the perforated pipe material at the perforations, like some small drains. Okay, with the perforations at the top to permit the water into that. That is called French drains. And then dry wells. Okay, the dry wells, you can see that this is with it's like a small cylindrical well filled with the sand materials. Okay, that is called dry wells, especially to facilitate the movement of the water through that. And then cleanouts. Do you have idea about cleanouts? What is cleanouts? Cleanouts are it's like a there is a projection in the drain facilities. Okay, for example, I can just show this diagram. You can see what is cleanouts. Okay, there is a projection just above the normal drain. Okay, with maybe with the cap at the top, mainly to facilitate the cleaning of drains. That is called as cleanouts. Okay, if there is any blockages in the main line, maybe you can just open it and then you can force the water through this to mainly to clean the drains. Okay, that is called as cleanouts. Okay, therefore you have like different drains, drain arrangements outside of your residential building. Okay, then coming to the requirements of good drainage systems, the drainage pipe should be strong and durable. Okay, then should be of non-absorbent material. Okay, it should not absorb because the wastewater contains lot of constraints. Therefore, it should not be absorbed on the surface of your material. Then pipes and joints should be airtight to prevent the leakage of the wastewater or the gases. That is very important. And then the network of pipes should have sufficient accessibility for inspection. That is important. Okay, we have studied, now it's a clean out. Similar to the clean out, we should provide some like some chambers. Okay, manhole provisions, some inspection chamber, mainly to remove the obstructions. And then the levels of building, sewer and other points of outlet should be fixed accurately. Okay, then while just laying off that sewer line or the drains, you have to take care of the water supply line. Therefore, that is very important. Therefore, with respect to the building level, and then you have to consider the laying of the drain pipes as well as the water supply lines. And then the system should not give scope for any airlocks or self-induced siphonage. What is the problem with the siphonic action? Can you tell me that? Students, what are the problems with the airlock or induced siphonic action?
And they'll block the flow of water. Like
Yeah, they will block. They will block the flow of water. Sometimes it may permit the bad smells from the sewer into the house drainage system. Okay, therefore mainly we have to avoid these things. Okay, therefore while laying the drains, then you have to provide like a proper sloping and other facilities. Okay, later we will see that one important component that is called as traps. Okay, that I will see. That will mainly help to avoid the entry of foul gases from the main sewer lines into the house sewer. Okay, then as far as possible, drains should not pass under the buildings, because it is very difficult. If there is any problem, then it is very difficult to inspect it. Okay, therefore it should be around the building. Okay, not below the building structure. Then drains should be given proper ventilation to avoid airlocks, and that we have already discussed. And then the system should have traps at all necessary points. The traps is like, okay, that means this is a trap. Okay, you have to provide some small bend in that drain system, mainly to maintain some amount of water in this. Okay, always to avoid the backflow or to avoid the entry of the like foul gases into the house drains. Okay, that is called trap. Okay, it is like maybe you had seen in the latrine, no, that in the bottom you can see always you are maintaining some amount of water. Okay, because of some arrangements, some bending arrangements in the structure. Okay, to maintain always it is very important to maintain some amount of water in that to take care of or to avoid the entry of the foul gases from the main line. Okay. Then yeah, the branch drain should be as short as possible. Okay. Then drain should not pass near or under the trees to avoid the damage of the pipes by the roots. And then it is advisable to lay sewers by the side of the building rather than below the building. And then the drain should be straight between the inspection chambers or with the manholes. Then the entire system should be properly ventilated. Then the joints of sewer should be water right. Okay, please go through some of the points related to the house drainage system. And then the material of the sewer should not absorb the sewage, that we have already discussed. And then the sewage formed should be conveyed as early as possible after its formation. The size of the lateral sewer should be such that they will not overflow at the time of maximum discharge. Okay. Maybe you have to study about what is the lateral sewer. Lateral sewer is, for example, this is the street line. Okay, this is the street sewer. Okay, we assume that there are a lot of houses in the streets, and then all the wastewater from the houses may be collected at a common point, and then from there it is connected to the main sewer through. This is called lateral sewer. This line is called the lateral sewer. Okay. And then the lateral sewer should be such that they will not overflow at the time of maximum discharge. Therefore, while designing the lateral sewer, we should take care of the amount of wastewater generated from the house, as well as the by considering the like the rainfall amount also. Okay, we have to find out the size of the lateral sewer. Then here it's like a plan of the layout drainage in a single storied building. Okay, the same like inspection chamber. Okay, the inside arrangements you have like a wash basin, water closet. Okay, then soil pipe, then like sink, vent pipe. Okay, we'll see one by one. Okay, different components. Public sewer, that is called main sewer. Yeah, these are the some arrangements in the building that we will discuss later. Okay, first we will study some components. Okay, what is anti-siphonage pipe, what is cowl, what is fresh inlet. Okay, the what is anti-siphonage pipe is the pipe used in the house drainage to preserve the water seal of traps. Okay, to prevent the fall gases or air entering in the building is known as the anti-siphonage pipe. Maybe you can see now. Okay, this multi-storied building arrangement. Okay. Here, this is the overhead tank, and then the water is supplied to the houses, and then it is connected to the maybe the shower, and then it may be connected to the wash basin, and then it may be connected to the water closet. And then you can see the bottom of the water closet. I have already mentioned about there is a small bend arrangement at the bottom of your water closet. That is called as trap. Okay. In the trap, we have to maintain sufficient amount of water. That is it is called as water seal. That is the effective. That a vertical height is called as the seal. Okay. For example, you have this is a cistern. Then there is a bench. It will go like this. Then you have to maintain the water here. Okay. This height, this is called as seal. Okay. Then. Now you can see this the bottom of the water closet, okay, is connected to the two pipes. One is called soil pipe. This is called soil pipe. Soil pipe means it carries the night soil. Okay, that is called soil pipe. Then one more branch that is connected to the anti-siphonage pipe. Okay, then the top of the soil pipe is ventilated, properly ventilated by providing the arrangement. Okay, that is called as the cowl. Is it clear, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, now you can read this. Anti-siphonage pipe is the pipe used in the house drainage to preserve the water seal, because I already mentioned that in the bend arrangement, we have to maintain the sufficient amount of water in order to like maintain this water level. It should be connected to the anti-siphonage pipe that should be properly ventilated at the top. Then next one is the cowl arrangement. The top of the vent pipe, okay, or otherwise we can say soil pipe. Soil or vent, vent pipe is provided with this slits or narrow openings, mainly for the escape of the gases from the vent pipe or from the soil pipe. Okay, then fresh inlet, the last manhole which connects the house drain with the public sewer is provided with the inlet of fresh air to dilute the sewage gases. That is called as fresh inlet. Okay, then soil pipe, the pipe which carries the discharge from soil fittings, especially from urinals and water closets. That is called as soil pipe. Vent pipe, the pipe installed for the purpose of ventilation. That is known as vent pipe, through which fall gases escape into the atmosphere. Then waste pipe, the pipe which carries discharges from sanitary fittings such as bathrooms, kitchens and sinks, etc. Okay, please understand that terminology. Okay, what is anti-siphonage pipe? Okay, that is an extra like a provision, that is, this is the anti-siphonage pipe. Then this is the like soil pipe or vent pipe. No, in this arrangement, this pipe serves both the purpose of like carrying the waste, as well as also it will act as a vent pipe. Okay, some systems, okay, that I will show some photographs later. There you can see the two pipes. One is carrying the night soil, then one is carrying the sillages, especially from the kitchen sink and then wash basins. Then each sillage pipe and soil pipe is attached with one more pipe that is called as vent pipe. Okay, for example, this is a soil pipe. Soil pipe carries the night soil as well as the urinals from the bathrooms. This is also, this pipe also should be attached with vent pipe. Vent pipe is mainly to allow the gases into the atmosphere, okay, for the good air circulation. Okay, then the second one is like a waste pipe. Waste pipe will carry the sillages, especially from the kitchen sink and then from the wash basins. Okay, then this also to be attached with vent pipe. Okay, this therefore each pipe, like the soil pipe with vent pipe arrangement, then waste pipe with vent pipe arrangement is provided. Okay, for example, in some multi-storied buildings, they have like 4 pipes. Okay, one is waste pipe that is attached with vent pipe. Similarly, soil pipe attached with the vent pipe. But some buildings, you have only a soil like a pipe, that itself serving the purpose of vent pipe. Okay, that and all. Okay, based on this arrangement, okay, there are different types of plumbing system like single stack system, one pipe system, two pipe system, partially single stack system that we will see later. Okay, now you just understand the meaning of the different components. Then these are the different sanitary fittings. Okay, traps, water closets, flushing cisterns, urinals, inspection chambers, wash basins, sinks, bathtubs. Okay, these are the different sanitary fittings. And then traps. Okay, I have already discussed about the traps. The traps is a depressed or a bent sanitary fitting which always remains full of water. That is called as the water seal. The function of the trap is mainly to prevent the entry of bad smelling gases into the house. The effectiveness of this trap mainly depends upon the depth of the water seal. Okay, how much amount of water is retained here. Okay, it depends on like the depth of the water seal. It varies from 25 mm to 75 mm. Then based on the function as well as based on the shape of the trap, it may be classified like P trap, okay, then Q trap and S trap. You can see this figure here. If the bend is like this, okay, then yeah, mainly we have to see after the water seal. Okay, here I have just explained what is water seal. That is the depth of the water that is retained in the bend portion. And then with respect to the shape, okay, after the water seal, okay, then it may be classified as P, Q and S. If the arrangement is like this, then this is called as S trap. Then if it goes like this, this is called as Q trap. Or if it is directly like this, this is called as P trap. Okay, based on the shape, then it is classified like PQS. And then based on the use, okay, where you are placing these traps in your house, okay, that is called as floor trap, then gully trap and intercepting traps. Okay, then the main requirements of the good trap, okay, is like it should be easily cleaned, and then it should be easily fixed with the drain. It should be of simple construction, It should possess a self-cleansing velocity. What is self-cleansing property? Self-cleansing. Generally, we used to say the sewer should be laid in such a way that should have some self-cleansing velocity.
With the speed of water itself, all the dirt go along with the water.
Yeah,
So
yes. Yes, okay. Therefore, here also we have to provide some slope, okay, then or to maintain that seal and other things. Okay. Then it should possess adequate water seal to fulfill the purpose of installation. It should be free from any inside projection, which are likely to obstruct the passage of flow of sewage. Therefore, inside the this portion should be smooth. Then internal and external surfaces should be of also smooth finish. Then these are the different classifications we have studied, and then maybe you have to know about two different points. One is called crown, another one is called as the dip. Dip is the lowest portion, okay, that at the in the trap, and then the crown is the top portion. The water seal is just we are measuring the depth of the water seal just above the dip, okay. Similarly up to the crown. Okay, you can see this is the crown. Then floor trap. Okay, we have discussed about floor trap. Do you have any idea about floor trap? You just imagine your house, maybe below the kitchen sink. Okay, we used to provide maybe at the corner of the kitchen. We used to provide some small gratings at the top with the gratings means it's like this is the opening. Okay, we can see like this one. This is opening. Okay, this is closed one, and then or another. Okay, what maybe mainly to allow the mainly to remove the while cleaning the floor. No, okay, we used to just force the water through this trap. Okay, that means you have the opening. You used to see only the openings at the top, but you at the bottom. Okay, they have like a trap arrangement. Okay, the trap arrangement maintains the water seal. Then only you will not get the bad smell or any gases through this opening. Okay, it is provided with the CI. It is cast iron or SS or GI gratings at the top to prevent the entry of solid and larger quickly matter. Okay, we are just forcing the water through this, not the solid matter. Therefore, we have to provide the grating arrangement at the top. Then next one is the gully trap. It is provided at the junction of your room or roof drain or other drain coming from the bath, kitchen, etc. This is outside, not at the inside of the house. The floor trap is maybe provided inside the house, but whereas the gully trap is just provided outside of your residential house. Okay, mainly at the junction. Okay, it may, for example, the roof water, the drain, like rainwater from the garden, or it may enter into this into this gully trap through the openings, and then the sillages from the wastewater may enter through this. Therefore, here you are providing the traps. Okay, mainly this bending arrangement. Okay, to avoid the entry of the foul gases into the residential area. Then intercepting drain or intercepting trap. Intercepting trap is actually it is provided at the main, especially near to the compound. Okay, where it is entering into the main sewer. For example, you have the storm drain or wastewater after collecting all the things from the residential area. This may be the lateral sewer. This lateral sewer may be connected to the main sewer. At this point, then you should provide the intercepting trap. Okay, it is provided at the junction of the house sewer and municipal sewer. That's why I have used the word lateral sewer. Okay, lateral sewer to the main sewer. You have to provide this intercepting trap. Okay, then it is also provided in a small manhole. Okay, we can easily, through the top, any person also can enter into this arrangement, and then especially for the cleaning purpose. Then here the depth of the water cell is 100 mm. Then this is with the manhole with the intercepting trap. Okay, this is the manhole arrangement. Easily man can enter through this entry. Okay, and then this is the waste from the home. Then like then this is the it's a small chamber. Okay, it is with us like you can see the slope. Okay, it is automatically connected to the main sewer. Below this, you can see the intercepting trap. Can see the intercepting trap. In the merits of intercepting trap, actually the first objective is mainly to avoid the entry of foul gases and then prevent harmful pathogenic bacteria entry from municipal sewer to the house sewer. Can quickly remove the foul matter of the house drains into the public sewer. Okay, if there is any problem, then automatically man can enter into this chamber manhole and then by flushing with water, and then they will remove the blockages. Actually, this is very important. This provision is very important. And then, but it also has some drawbacks. Okay, some demerits. If the discharge from house drains is small, solid heavy matter will be retained and produces foul gases. Okay, if there is not sufficient self-cleansing velocity, then automatically it may settle and then it creates a lot of foul gases over a period of time. If the plug or lid is not fitted properly or it is broken, foul gases will enter the house drain, and then cleaning. If the manhole arrangement is not provided, then it is cleaning is very difficult and then affect the ventilation of public sewers. Okay, therefore have some drawbacks that we have to take care. And then the sanitary fittings. Okay, these are the appliances used in the house plumbing system to receive the human excreta and sillage. Okay, waste of the house. One is the soil fittings, the water closets and urinals, and then ablution fittings. Okay, this is flushing cisterns, wash basin, baths, and then kitchen sink. Okay, bathtub. Okay, these devices are called ablution fittings. And then water closets, maybe as you all know that water closet is a sanitary fitting which is designed to receive the human excreta. Okay. Then there are two different types that you all know. One is the Indian type water closet, another one is the European type water closet. Then here I have just explained about the Indian type water closet. You can read this material. It is made up of porcelain material or vitreous China material, and then it requires at least 10 liters of water for flushing. Okay, generally for that's why we used to say it is called as water carriage system. Water carriage system is we are not disposing the solid matter as such without the water. Okay, we are just diluting the solid matter with the water. That's why it is called as water carriage system. Water carriage system always requires large quantity of the water. Then you have these arrangements and all, maybe as you all know that, and then you can just go through the different parts of water closet, and then they have given the specifications of that length of the water closet, then water seal arrangements. Okay, then European type water closet, that total length of this varies from 500 to 600 mm, and then height varies from 350 to 400 mm. Then it is provided with a flushing system. Okay, can just go through this. Flushing systems. You know that how it works. Can you just explain how it works? The concept of flushing systems, because you're seeing every day in your house. Can you just explain this? Anyone can explain about the concept of flushing system? Students.
There will be a floating ball kind of thing, and then when we pull the flush, the ball will come up, and then the water will go through the
No.
hole which the ball
No.
has.
No. 1 minute, Sharon. Okay, while just pressing down the lever. Okay, what will happen?
Ma'am, there will be a floating.
This is a floating.
Kind of
That is
the ball kind of.
yeah, ball that is there. Okay,
Yes,
this is
ma'am.
the.
So that will. It will come up and then it will also it will open the hole under it.
Okay.
The water outlet under it.
Have you seen any bell shape arrangement? Bell shape arrangement. You just open the cistern, that top box, that top cap, and then see. This is the bell shape arrangement. Is to provide it. Okay. Then if you are just pressing the that lever arrangement, okay, that is the thing, then automatically this will lift up. Then then through which the water enters into the water closet. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, everyone please just open the cistern and then see that what is the how it works. Okay, in the flushing cisterns, then if you are pressing down, then automatically the bell arrangement, no, that it will lift up and then it provides provisions to enter the water through this. Then automatically what will happen? This ball will come down. The floating ball, no, that may come down. Then automatically if it comes down, then it allows the water to enter into the chamber from the inlet. Then once it reaches the top, and then automatically the wall closes and then the water level is maintained in the cistern continuously. That means whenever if you are pressing the cistern, then water will come out. Anyway, I request everyone to just open the flushing cistern and then see the mechanism. Yeah, here just I have explained here that it consists of bell connected to the flushing chain through a lever. Then when the chain is pulled, then the bell is lifted up and the water in the tank rushes through the flushing by siphonic action. Then the float wall now allows the water from the inlet into the cistern, and thus the cistern is ready for next flushing. Okay, you just go through this concept. Maybe you can just try it in your home, see how it works. Then urinals have different types like bowl type and then stall or slab type. Okay, these are the it's a bowl type arrangement. Then this is a stall or slab type arrangement. Then inspection chamber. It is a masonry chamber similar to the manhole to provide access for the cleaning, inspection and repair of the drain. This is also provided with the CI cover. Okay, that is cast iron cover. Then the size of this chamber depends on the depth and the number of branch connections. Then the size may be about 60 to 75 centimeter and 90 centimeter deep. Then they should be constructed at all junctions, bends, and at about 10 meter interval on straight runs of the drains. Then anti-siphonage pipe that we have already discussed. Okay, mainly the purpose of the anti-siphonage pipe is mainly to prevent the siphonic action. Okay, if you are not preventing the siphonic action in the soil pipe, then what will happen? Can you tell me that, students?
There will be excess pressure in the pipe, ma'am. So
then
to break.
Yeah, it very difficult to maintain the seal, water seal in the traps. It will create lot of vacuum and then it sucks the water. For example, somebody is consider the multi-storied building. Maybe some may be doing some flushing action in the 3rd floor. Then because of that, it creates a lot of vacuum. Then it sucks the water from the lower floors. Then in order to avoid that pipe, this arrangement should be connected with the anti-siphonage pipe. Okay, particularly if several lavatory blocks are situated on the different stories, discharging in the same soil pipe or waste pipe, the anti-siphonage pipe has to be necessarily provided. Okay, because the flushing in upper floors creates partial vacuum in the pipe at lower region that inducing siphonic action. Then if the siphonic action is there, then it is very difficult to maintain the water seal. Therefore, in order to maintain the water seal in the lower flows, okay, then we have to connect the soil pipe or waste pipe to the anti-siphonage pipe. And then wash basins, okay, here they have just given the guidelines, okay. Then commonly available sizes of wash basins. Okay, these are all, you just see that from your house itself, what are the different types, okay. Flat back, flat, it is mainly based on the shape at the bottom of your wash basin, okay. Then we can, it can be classified as like flat back and then angle back. In bathtubs, your kitchen sink, dimensions, okay. Then I think I will stop with this. Tomorrow we'll see about the different classifications of plumbing systems. Okay, what are the things we have studied, like with respect to the soil pipe, waste pipe and anti-siphonage pipe. The plumbing systems in the residential building are maybe called a single stack system, one pipe system, two pipe system, or partially ventilated single stack system. That I will explain tomorrow.